Hi everyone, in this video we're gonna knead the dough by hand. We're gonna start quickly with one thing, why it's good to do an autolyse and a fermentolyse. Because I just mixed water, flour and sourdough together. I'm gonna show you why it's not possible to knead by hand the dough right now. I just water my hand simply because when you're gonna pull, everything break. You pull, everything break, you see? It's impossible, there's no gluten network. So now we're gonna mix, nothing is gonna happen. I mean, we can do it, but it's gonna take a long time, lots of effort. So that's why in this case, it's very good to leave the dough to rest for at least half an hour to 1 hour. So I just mixed the ingredients together very quickly without the salt, and I'm gonna leave it, and in 40 minutes, we will knead everything by hand. You will see the difference. Now it just break. See you in 40 minutes. It's been 40 minutes and now we can see already that you can stretch the dough and you can see the gluten network a little bit better. So now it's time to knead by hand together. Let's do it. So first I'm just gonna put my dough where I'm gonna knead it. So kneading the dough by hand is a process that can help you to have a nice bread compared to, for example, the video where we make bread without kneading at all. But it's a very, very long process. It can take 15 to half an hour. I'm gonna do it slowly first, but you see you can stretch the dough already. I put the salt in my dough in order to salt the dough properly, of course. And you might think it's already good because it's kind of smooth, but it's not good already. Many people knead the dough differently, but there's a right way to do, which is the way that I'm doing. And this is very important for your dough, for the gluten specifically. And the thing is, we're gonna do this movement the whole time. And so far I do it, and you can see clearly that it's not smooth. And I still have some dough on my hand everywhere. And as long as it's sticky like this, it means it's not ready. So it's a very tiring process also, because you're gonna feel your muscle in your forearms, definitely. You see the dough? We gave the fermentolyse, so that means the gluten started to work already. The gluten started to do his job. Like this, we come with a dough that hold itself at least. But how we can see the dough is not ready yet? Well, simply, the technique is the window. If I take the window, and if you stretch, it breaks. You see? It breaks. There's no gluten network, no real gluten network. So for this, we need to knead the dough. Of course, the mixer, it does the job very well, but by hand is doable. It's just gonna take some time. The technique for this is to stretch the dough, to fold the dough on itself, to incorporate some air, and to work the gluten. This is very important. The technique, some people, they do like this, you know. They do this, they push, they fold, push, fold, push, fold. But I hate this technique. Why? Because it just crushes the gluten and it makes it more fragile, okay? It makes it fragile, it doesn't build it really, it doesn't knead it really also, you see? I try to get back my dough and it's already quite difficult. It just crushes the gluten. You just press it on the surface and you don't really do anything to it. So this is a technique that most people do, I would say, but yeah, it's not the technique at all. The dough needs to be stretched, the dough needs to be pulled, the dough needs to be folded, and that's how you knead the dough. For this, the right technique is the one I'm doing right now. There is many techniques, and one really good technique, which is this one. And you know, you have different type of mixer. You have some mixer with a hook, just like this. This is called spiral, for the French at least. And you have the oblique in France. It's like a big ball. The hook is a little bit like this still still doing the same thing, stretching, pulling, incorporating air. And the last few years, you see different type of mixer. They have two arms. When you turn it on, the movement is they take the dough like this. They just do this. They pull, stretch, pull, stretch, okay? So if I do like this, not much is happening because I'm doing it all the time on the same place. So what's happened in this mixer? There's the two arms that do this job, and the ball is continuously turning also on one side. That means the dough do this job. So now I'm mechanically turning myself because I don't have a ball. I do the movement of the machine. You see, it's like turning all the time. Voila. And this is the movement we want. So you can do this. This is a really good movement also. But the problem is you're not gonna do it long because you're gonna have your shoulders that gonna be in pain like mine right now very quickly, especially if you do quite a lot of dough. Here I have 2 kilos of dough, which is not much, but after some time it's a lot. Remember sometimes to take the dough around just to clean a little bit. And you see the dough is still sticky on my hand, huh? So it's not finished yet. Like I said, you can do this movement. You can do it for 20 minutes. It's gonna be pain in the butt. Or the other one, the one we do generally by hand. You take the dough with your two hands under, you pull it first, you slap the dough and you throw it over top. And then you take 90 degree, you take this part, pull, again, 90 degree, you pull the bottom and you put over in order to incorporate air. Here, you put under, you pull and you fold. Pull, fold, 90 degree, pull, fold, 90 degree, pull, fold. And you repeat this movement. In the same time, what we want is that when you fold your dough, like now, in the same time, you want to stretch a little bit with your hand, you want to pull like this. You want to pull a little bit like this to stretch the dough. So you want to stretch up, you want to stretch on the side, and you fold on itself. And this is the right movement who's going to build your dough. And you will know exactly when your dough is ready. When you have nothing on your hand, it's starting, you see, I have less on my hand. And when the whole surface will be clean. As long as it's not clean, your dough is not needed. And you feel it also. So sometimes like now, it breaks, you see. But at the beginning, it breaks and it goes in pieces, you know. And it's not comfortable to use or to hold. But the more it gets to the point, even if it breaks, it's still all right. The thing is, when you knead by hand, the dough is basically in the ambient air. And all the air, when we pull, when we fold like this, the air here is 19 degrees. So we incorporate every time 90 degree air. So the dough is cooling down. So that's why you need to make warm dough at the beginning. And especially because the hand kneading takes a long time, it cools down even more. So this is very important to put a warm dough at the beginning. So of course you can slap the dough the way I do. It's even recommended. Like you slap, you pull and you throw. You slap, you pull and you pull over. It's like you slap it and you pull and you fold it. You slap it, you pull and you fold it. Slap it, you pull, fold it. You see my hand? It's getting cleaner and cleaner. So we want to build the gluten. And the more you're going to do it, of course, the more you're going to suffer. But you're going to feel also that your dough is getting some strength. You're going to feel that it's harder to stretch it. That means the dough gets elasticity. And that's exactly what we want. And you start to see already that my dough is quite good. Now we can try to do the window. And same process, we pull, we take, we stretch. And we see that it's starting to get there, you see? It still breaks, but we start to have something. So it's not ready yet because it breaks. And I can feel in my hand that my dough is also getting colder. So once you finish to knead your dough by hand, you need to put it in a warm place. Because now if I take the temperature, we have 21.7 degrees. My dough was 25 and now it's 21.7. So it's a very tiring process, huh? But this is the best chance to have a very nice bread. So if you have the patience, if you want to exercise a little bit also, but you can see already that, look at the dough, the difference. So that's why it's very interesting for you to watch it completely, the whole process, because you see the change that we want to see in the dough. But also at this right moment, when I slap the dough, when I pull it, and when you look here at the limit, if you see that it's breaking, some kind of things like this, it's not ready. When you will slap it and you will have something very straight like this, something very smooth, you know that the whole gluten hold together, the whole dough has strength. So this is the time where you want slowly, but we are getting there. Of course, a mixer do a better job. The mixer gonna knead the dough very quickly, incorporate some cold air also. When you knead very quickly, it's the friction, you know, like any type of friction. The faster you go, the faster it warm up. The friction warm up things. If you want to do like very quick, it will be possible, you know. You're gonna be extremely tired, and even is not gonna warm up as much as a mixer will. So we just have to be aware that after the hand kneading, we need to warm up the dough. And this type of mixing gives strength to the dough. Gonna allow your dough to keep a very nice shape. Like right now, you see it keeps a nice bowl. If you have no strength, it's just gonna spread everywhere. And then when you bake, that's what allows you to have a very nice ear cut. And it's gonna be very easy to shape, very nice to manipulate in general. It doesn't stick to the surface anymore. We are there soon. And when I slap and I pull, I see it's better. And like I said at the beginning, it cleans up my hand slowly and slowly. Here it's very dry, so it's not gonna go. But here, it's almost clean. If you're very tired, you can also leave it for 5 minutes. It helps also a little bit, but I don't like to leave it 5 minutes because it gives 5 more minutes to cool down, which is not really what we want. I'm gonna leave it 5 minutes and I come back here. It's been a few minutes, maybe 4 minutes exactly. Now you stretch the window test. It's, I would say, almost perfect. If you stretch more and more, of course it breaks, but we have something. But I'm gonna still knead a little bit by hand, just to give a little bit extra strength. But really not much, because now I can feel my dough is starting to get the strength that it needs. And even when I slap it here, I can see it stay here in one, it does one line. And you can see even, you can see how hard it is. You can see here the bubble, there's a bubble when you knead. See? My hands are clean. And when it starts to get hard to stretch it like now, that means it's the time where you need to stop to knead your dough. I'm gonna stop. Voilà. I want to put my dough in a warm place because now, look, now we have 21. So we lost even 0.7 degrees. And now that's the time your dough is needed. Because you have the bubble, you can touch it, it's not sticky to your hand, it's not sticky to the surface. So you just make a round and in the box. And from now, we have seen everything we needed to see for the kneading by hand. This is what you have to do. I gave you all the explanation. There's one way to knead by hand, okay? One way, or the two way, with the one I showed you where you do like this, but gonna suffer. So this video stop here. I hope It's very helpful for you. I hope you're gonna knead your dough by hand and you will have some super nice bread. Thank you for watching. Make a good bread and see you in the next video. Ciao.